好的 ，OK，今天呢，我们就用这个官方的 Official Guide 来演示一下我是怎么样子去解答这个 PTE 考试的全部题型的。OK，Official Guide 大家应该都可以在网上下载得到啊。Official Guide 呢，一共有3套题，对，我们直接来进入它的第一套题的练习啊。Item Practice Speaking Items。好，进入来了以后呢，你首先会看到一个什么东西呢？会看到我们的 Microphone Check。Microphone check 这个地方跟考试的时候是非常接近的啊。你可以在点了这个 record 之后呢，说一些话，然后呢，听一下你到底有没有喷麦，你的发音是否清晰。对，但是我们的要求是什么记得先是发音清晰，然后才是没有喷麦，好吗？不能光是为了这个没有喷麦，结果自己的声音都录不进去了，那就是不行的哈。我们来试一下 record。Testing testing。OK，paper。噗，来听一下。Testing testing。OK，paper。噗。好 ，OK， 我刚才感觉到还是不错了啊。在 paper 的时候呢，并没有出现很严重的这种爆破的喷麦的这种情况。只有在非常认真的、非常使劲的吐气儿的时候才会喷麦，这种其实是没有问题的哈。OK， 那这个在考试的时候请注意多花点时间，好好调节一下。你可以看到我现在这个麦克风的位置其实是比较低的并不会像有很多的人推荐的说是什么放到鼻尖，对不对？我也没有说是直接对着这个嘴巴，因为直接对着嘴巴虽然声音最大，但是容易喷麦。但是我习惯性的喜欢放到靠下一点的位置，我的说话声音能够保证的时候，又不会喷麦，然后它也不会遮挡我的视线所以说我比较习惯这一种方式。OK， 没什么问题的话，我们再试一次再试一次。Paper people。Pronunciation. Poo. Paper people. Pronunciation. Poo. 好，没有很严重的喷麦如果是严重的喷麦，我们试一下是什么样子好，来听一下。听到了吗？就是这种所谓的很严重的喷麦呢，其实就是这种直接把气息都喷到了麦克风上面，造成了很多这种低音、这种爆破的声音这种对于计算机来说就是不好的了所以说，其实我习惯性的是放在下面好，再最后试一下。Paper people recording pronunciation people。Paper people recording pronunciation people。 OK， 好，没什么问题了，咱们开始做第一个题型。35秒钟的时间要看一篇段落，要把它念完。好，赶快开始。看一下我的鼠标的位置在哪里我是这样子去念的。Once you pick the general topic for your paper, you need to come up with a thesis. Your thesis is the main focal point of your paper, and it's the position you take on your particular topic. Formulating a strong thesis is one of the most important things you need to do to ace your paper. 好，阅读的过程当中需要快快的去找到你到底哪一些会读，哪些不会读。因为这个东西我已经读得很熟了所以就没有什么问题。3、2、1。Once you pick the general topic for your paper, you need to come up with a thesis. Your thesis is the main and focal point of your paper, and it's the position you take on your particular topic. Formulating a strong thesis is one of the most important things you need to do to ace your paper. 好，这一题就做完了。立刻点 Next。Many papers you write in college will require you to include quotes from one or more sources 连读 even if you don't want to even if you don't 这地方我发现一个坑我念得不太好 even if you don't have to do it. Integrating a few quotes into your writing can add life and persuasiveness to your arguments. The key is to use quotes to support a 没念完，时间到了，也不在乎。前面你好。Many papers you write in college will require you to include quotes from one or more sources. Even if you don't have to do it, integrating a few quotes into your writing can add life and persuasiveness to your arguments. The key is to use quotes to support a point you are trying to make, rather than just include them to fill space. You can next. 下一题 Networking is easy. Networking is easy and fun because it taps into this human predilection. 好，我也会有不会读的词的啊，我也会有不会读的词，所以这些词碰到的时候啊，自然拼读。Predilection to talk about ourselves when asked. Consider successful networking as little more than the process of guiding a person to tell you about his life, what he's doing, the company that he employs him, and his current industry. Networking is easy and fun because it taps into this human predilection to talk about ourselves when asked. Consider successful networking as little more than the process of guiding a person to tell you about his life, what he's doing, the company that employs him, and his current industry. 这里有个小的细节啊，就他做的是什么，然后他是哪一个公司的，对不对？他做的是什么行业？这三个啊，前面这几个项目啊，不是最后的行业啊，前面这几个项目是并列的，所以要有声调啊。这个地方我说了一大堆的废话啊，考试的时候不能这样子。好，这一题有40秒的准备时间，因为它的整个段落会比较长一点。好，来看一下。Although Botswana's economic， 我喜欢念 economic 经常混啊，那么就确定一种读法。Botswana's economic outlook remains strong. The devastation that AIDS has caused threatens to destroy the country's future. In 2001, 数字 2001, Botswana had the highest rate of HIV infection in the world. With the help of international donors, it launched an ambitious international campaign that provided free antiviral drugs. Although Botswana's economic outlook remains strong, the devastation that AIDS has caused threatens to destroy the country's future. In 2001, Botswana had the highest rate of HIV infection in the world. With the help of international donors, it launched an ambitious national campaign that provided free antiviral drugs to anyone who needed them. And by March 2004, Botswana's infection rate has dropped significantly. 同样40秒，长度很多。Over the centuries, the holiday evolved, and by the 18th century, gift-giving and exchanging handmade cards on Valentine's Day had become common in England. Handmade Valentine's card made of lace, ribbons, and featuring cupids and hearts eventually spread to the American colonies. The tradition of Valentine's card did not become widespread in the United States, however, until the 1850s. Over the centuries, the holiday evolved, and by the 18th century, gift-giving and exchanging handmade cards on Valentine's Day had become common in England. Handmade Valentine's card made of lace, ribbons, and featuring cupids and hearts eventually spread to the American colonies. The tradition of Valentine's cards did not become widespread in the United States, however, until the 1850s. Thompson recognized and exploited all the ingredients of a successful amusement ride, writes Judith A. Adams. In the American amusement park industry, amusement park 时报连读 His coasters combine an appearance of danger with actual safety. 连读很多啊 Thrilled riders with exhilarating speed and allow the public to intimately experience the industrial revolution's new technology of gear, steel, and dazzling electric lights. Okay. Thompson recognized and exploited all the ingredients of a successful amusement ride, writes Judith A. Adams, in the American amusement park industry. His coasters combine an appearance of danger with actual safety, thrill riders with exhilarating speed, and allow the public to intimately experience the Industrial Revolution's new technologies of gear, steel, and dazzling electric lights. 嗓子有点冒烟了啊。考试的时候要是干的话啊，坚持不管要说下去啊。For centuries, Atlantis has been one of the Western world's favorite legends, a tantalizing blend of fantasy and mystery. Stories tell of a 连读啊，换行也要连读。Tell of a rich and glorious empire that was lost to the sea. For centuries, Atlantis has been one of the Western world's favorite legends, a tantalizing blend of fantasy and mystery. Stories tell of a rich and glorious empire that was lost to the sea, where some hope its ruins still lie, waiting to be discovered. Repeat sentence.
Professor Smith will be late for today's lecture.
Professor Smith will be late for today's lecture.
The circulation desk is located on the ground floor.
The circulation desk is located on the ground floor.
Tutorials are held for 2 hours every Thursday during semester.
Tutorials are held for 2 hours every Thursday during semester. 注意意群啊，注意每个小的意群能说得出来的，你能听得懂就说得出来。
International students can get help with locating housing near the university.
International students can get help with housing near the university. 三个意群。
The student welfare officer can help with questions about exam technique.
The student welfare officer can help with questions about exam techniques.
Most of the students were not able to attend Professor Green's seminar.
Most of the students were not able to attend Mr. Green's seminar. 认错了不要改。
Some of the references in the essay were old and out of date.
Some of the references in the essay was old and out of date.
We will divide the class into 3 discussion groups.
We will divide the classroom into 3 discussion groups. 哎，简单的哦，太忽略了啊！简单的我竟然说错了。
Every student in the class passed the exam without trouble.
Every student in the class passed the exam without trouble.
There is more detail in the table on page 5.
There is more detail in the table on page 5.
You can get to the college by bus, train, or car.
You can get to the college by bus, train, or car.
We should divide the assignment into 3 parts and work together.
We should divide the assignment into 3 parts and work together. Describe image. 25秒只看关键点。Spanish-speaking countries by population. Mexico 80, Colombia 40, Chile 20. Mexico will keep increasing in the future. 好，在15秒钟左右的时候，其实就已经准备完了。好，如果你练熟了模板的话，现在。The following graph shows information about Spanish-speaking countries by population, including Chile, Peru, and Venezuela. According to the graph, we can see that Mexico has the largest number, which is around 80. Following by that, Colombia has the second largest number, which is around 40. According to the information we can get from the graph, Chile has the smallest number, which is around 20. It is clear that Mexico will keep increasing in the future, and this graph is about Spanish-speaking countries by population. 开始有念错的地方 ，Venezuela 我竟然念错了啊，不管。图片题还记得吗？中右左下啊，或者是你的自己的顺序。Building, glass, sky, blue, sky, also blue. Building, old. 同样15秒钟，已经知道怎么说了。This picture is very creative, and there are some interesting elements in the picture. According to the graph, we can see that in the middle of the picture, there is a building which is quite tall and made of glass. On the right side of the picture, there is the sky, which is blue. Following by that, on the left side of the picture, there is also the blue, which is clear. It is clear that at the bottom of the picture, there is an old building, which is like traditional. In general, this picture is very interesting, and it is useful for the study of architecture. 只看重点哈。Daily processor chip output. Friday has the largest number, which is around 16. 啊，这个数字有点难看，是不是？啊，小心点啊。14 Thursday, Sunday 0. Okay. The following graph shows information about daily process chip output from Monday to Sunday. According to the graph, we can see that Friday has the largest number, which is around 16. Following by that, Thursday has the second largest number, which is 14. According to the information we can get from the graph, Sunday has the smallest number, which is around 0. It is clear that Friday has always been higher than Monday. In general, if this trend continues, daily processor chip output will keep increasing in the future. 同时注意着进度条啊。Timetable 啊，这个有点奇葩，是不是啊？我们按流程图来说就好了。OK， 啊，不会说的图都可以按流程图来说啊。第一步、第二步、第三步。OK。Timetable Monday Semester 1. First step is 9 a.m. Introductory Statistics. The following graph shows information about timetable Monday in Semester 1. According to the graph, we can see that the first step is Introductory Statistics on 9 a.m. Following by that, the second step is Psychology 1 lecture, which is around 10 a.m. According to the information we can get from the graph, the next step is lunch, 12 p.m. It is clear that the next courses are English Literature, Tutorial, and Economics. 刚才就是一个错误示范了啊，又是有点奇葩的，是不是啊？不怕，只要能念就行了。The following graph shows information about total respond about mode of travel to university for second-year students. According to the graph, we can see that travel by train has the largest number, which is around 60. Travel by car has the second largest number. So it's not known. On foot, maybe the smallest number. Okay. The following graph shows information about mode of travel to university for second-year students, including train and car. According to the graph, we can see that travel by train has the largest number, which is around 60. Following by that, travel by car has the second largest number, which is around 30. According to the information we can get from the graph, travel by foot is not shown. It is clear that travel by train has always been higher than travel by car. In general, if this trend continues, train will keep increasing in the future. Flowchart. 我感觉快要到 retail lecture 了，赶快把笔记本找出来啊！就是这么不在乎。The following graph shows information about members of management team. According to the graph, we can see that the first person is Jim Tognall, who is the director. Following by that, the second in hand is Chris Gale, who is the assistant to director. It is clear that Michael Davis, Adrian Mornandez are the business development manager and marketing manager. In general, there are several people in this company and the management team is quite structured. 没有笔耶。当你熟练这些题了以后呢，这些倒数的时间反倒是一个很折磨你的东西，是吧？地图就拿这个当地图说。The following graph shows information about undergraduate lecture theaters, the map. According to the graph, we can see that in the middle of the picture, there's the undergraduate lecture theaters, which is in dark gray. Following by that, on the right side of the picture, there's the sports field, which is in light gray. According to the information we can get from the graph, on the left side of the picture, there's the science labs. And at the bottom of the picture, there's the Thomas Mann Library. 不想说的可以完全不说了啊，因为前面说的足够好了。OK， 看到这里 ，retail lecture 啊。
The Human Development Index (HDI), published annually by the UN, ranks nations according to their citizens' quality of life rather than strictly by a nation's traditional economic figures. The criteria for calculating rankings include life expectancy, educational attainment, and adjusted real income. The most livable countries in 2006 were Norway, Iceland, Australia, Ireland, and Sweden.
That's quite short. 好，10秒钟。In this lecture, the speaker talks about HDI. According to the speaker, he mentions that HDI ranks citizens' quality of life. Following by that, the speaker also mentions that the criteria are different from normal aspects. According to the information we can get from the speaker, the world's most livable countries in 2006 are Norway, Iceland, Australia, Ireland, and Sweden. In general, this lecture is very informative and it's about HDI ranks.
There once was a time in American history when the thought of women working for complex, multinational technology companies, giant advertising firms, and massive publishing houses was snickered at behind closed boardroom doors. Today, women are running those companies from some of those very same boardrooms. But although women make up almost half of America's labor force, as of 2005, only 8 Fortune 500 companies have women CEOs or presidents, and 67 of those 500 companies don't have any women corporate officers. Catalyst, the not-for-profit New York-based women's research organization, points out that its data shows a change over the last 10 years. In 1995, 8.7% of corporate officers in Fortune 500 companies were women. This percentage rose to 16.4% by 2005. While this is progress, they note that at this rate, it would take 40 years for the number of female corporate officers to match the number of male officers. For the few women who have reached the highest ranks, they'd prefer not to talk about their gender. To them, it's no longer an issue. Their accomplishments represent significant milestones, not just for women in business, but for women all over the world making career choices.
10秒钟，注意了啊，这个时候有可能没有低音。In this lecture, the speaker talks about people used to think women should not work in companies. According to the picture, he mentions that 8 companies has women CEOs. Following by that, she also mentions that data has changed in the last decade. According to the speaker, she also mentions that more women are in jobs, but it's still not enough. In general, this lecture is very informative, and there should be more women in work.
More than 1 billion people in about 70 countries around the world observe Daylight Saving Time, DST, in some form. Here are interesting facts about some of these countries. Most of Canada uses Daylight Saving Time. Some exceptions include the majority of Saskatchewan and parts of northeastern British Columbia. In the fall of 2005, Manitoba and Ontario announced that, like the United States, they would extend daylight time starting in 2007. The Attorney General of Ontario commented that it is important to maintain Ontario's competitive advantage by coordinating time changes with our major trading partner and harmonising our financial, industrial, transportation and communications links. Other provinces have indicated that they may also follow suit. It wasn't until 1996 that our NAFTA neighbours in Mexico adopted DST. Now all 3 Mexican time zones are on the same schedule as the United States.
In this lecture, the speaker talks about why countries adopt DST. According to the speaker, he mentions that many people observe daylight saving times in the world. Following by that, the speaker also mentions that parts of Canada use DST. According to the information we can get from the speaker, he mentions that states like Ontario started using DST because of the US. In general, this lecture is about Mexican who also adopted DST.
Who would you consult to treat a fear of crowded places? A philosopher or a psychologist?
Psychologist.
How would most people travel to work each day in big cities like Hong Kong, Tokyo, and New York?
By public transportation.
Would a supermarket, a cafe, or a bookstore probably have the widest range of products available?
Supermarket.
In which room of their home would someone usually wash their clothes?
Laundry room.
Despite all the advances in equality between the sexes, would more men or women play professional football?
Men.
Which major branch of science deals with classification of living things?
Biology.
In most university courses, there are 2 ways of being assessed. One is orally, the other is through
Written test.
Once you've picked a general topic for your paper, you need to come up with a thesis.
好，答案呢我们就先不看了啊。今天我们就先做到这里。